All right, gentlemen. So let's wrap this up. Part three. And so a couple of cleanup things from the last video, or things I didn't mention. I'm in the building I'm in is in Neo Kamari Condom. So that's the island where Balthazar and those other dragons are from, and some of the other SS5 level powers that I've sensed. Excuse me. So I'm on that. I'm on that landmass. The guy Sigmund I met, my theory is that that's probably Sigmund Freud, and they seem to be like a bunch of like alternate timeline, like past, thinkers and scientists and stuff like that that are here. I don't know why. And then also my navigator, I was trying to send a message to Blaine on it while I was there, and it just blanked out, like it just went dead. So I was like really nervous. That's one of the other reasons why I was really nervous about trying to get back to New Brooklyn, because I didn't have the navigator, to even like navigate myself around. So I was nervous. All right, so we're picking up. So I'm in the plane. It's like one of those kind of like old school Wrights brothers type plane, and Ben was assured me that I would not be sensed in this plane, and I just decided to trust him, even though it definitely did not feel that way. So I'm flying and flying and flying, and I'm flying over like a large body of water, flying for a long time, and I'm starting to get very tired and very hungry. So eventually I stop on an island, and I have to make a decision here, and I'm like, okay, I can either get out the plane and try to, get food and shelter and stuff like that, or just sleep here in the plane and hope that the cloaking or whatever it is holds up. So I decided to trust Ben and go with the and hope that the plane can keep me protected or keep me cloaked. So I go to sleep, wake up, and what do you know? I'm still in the plane. It seems like nobody saw me, nobody bothered me. I did also find a remote area, so I went to an area where there wasn't anybody. But the way things are on this planet, I'm confident that if I wasn't in this plane, somebody would have flew over and bothered me. So I take the nap. So I'm cool now, rested in that front, but I'm famished. So I go to fly out, flying for a bit longer. My hunger is getting really bad, and I have a thing where I can like laser focus on something with my senses. It's typically what I do in combat when I'm facing like a particularly fast opponent or something. Like I'll block out everything else to where it's just me and that opponent, and it allows me to like pick up their movements faster and stuff like that. But I do it with other things to like sense on things more carefully and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna block out everything, trying to also include my hunger, and then just focus on the flight and the flight path, and it was working. But I was coming out to check on myself because I didn't want anything crazy to happen with my body. I didn't trust it. So eventually, I started getting like to the point where I was like, just like where I came out and I was like uncontrollably starving. So I land and I'm near like this body of water, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get out the plane. I go to get out and I notice there's rations in the back, and I'm like, yes. So I get the rations and eat them. It's enough. It doesn't really sate my hunger. I'm still hungry, but I'm cool enough to probably make the rest of the flight. Keep flying back to New Brooklyn, and eventually I make it. So I go to land down in this park. I guess you could call it New Central Park. Landing's a little rough, but I'm able to walk away. Plane's intact. As soon as I get out the plane, the cops come over to me. So they're telling me basically I damaged the park and everything as I came down. And the one cop is cool. Another cop seems to be an asshole, as per the the dynamics I always run into here. And what the asshole cop was saying that that I probably created about $30,000 in damages, and if I didn't want to come with them, basically I'd have to pay that. So I called okay I called Blaine, or messaged her to see if she could front me the money, and that was it. And that is my session. So I think I'll do probably one more just to do like an outro.